Hello everyone and welcome back to Batmania. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
And we are at the penultimate episode of Batmania. We are going to tackle now, with the next two episodes, with the last two episodes, a couple of movies that are brand spanking new and that Eric and I have never seen. And the first of them is Scooby-Doo and Batman Brave and the Bold. And Eric, it feels like just yesterday we found out this was coming out and we're like, wow, that's going to be a thing? And I just can't even believe I'm holding this in my hands. That's crazy. I'm less surprised by Gotham by Gaslight than I am by this movie.
I'm surprised that specifically Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
It's more surprising that this long has gone out and they haven't done this Scooby-Doo Batman.
Yeah, but do you think they might, and I guess this is the answer to this question, I don't know that I ever would have expected them to make up a generic Batman, or maybe they could have just gone back to something that looks like the one they did before.
They could have done that. They could have done animated series and got Conroy back.
Oh, that's interesting.
In the mid-2000s, I wouldn't have been surprised if they'd done
the Batman. That's a great point.
Because What's New Scooby-Doo was on at that point.
Wouldn't you agree with me though if I were to say that this seems like the perfect match of the Batmans we've had? Because Scooby-Doo could have been one of like the teaser cartoons, right?
Yeah.
Pretty like they did with Space Ghost.
I wish it was Brave and the Bold and Mystery Incorporated, because I think they both have a very similar knowingness.
That's interesting too. Yeah, but this is like the Scooby-Doo thing with crossovers. This is kind of a line. This is as much of a line as the DC direct-to-videos have become.
It's not crossovers always, but there's like 3 or 4 Scooby-Doo movies that come out, and they always represent the traditional Scooby-Doo.
They're not all crossovers, but lately a lot of them have been.
Yeah.
They've done a couple of wrestling ones, and they did Kiss, and they did Kiss. They've been doing a lot of
which
those.
Apparently you might have to do because it might count as a superhero thing.
Well,
because apparently Kiss might count as a superhero thing.
Yeah, I forgot about it. And people keep saying that's really great.
I've heard great things.
And I've heard great things about the Jetsons wrestling crossover.
Interesting.
But I don't care about wrestling, so I have a hard time. I need enough people to tell me that know enough, but also are, like, objective enough to be able to, like, look at people like me and know I know nothing about wrestling and still be able to tell me that I don't need to know wrestling to watch that. But you'd have to know wrestling to even think to watch it, I would think. So
What's nice about this line, I guess, for like fans is that like no matter what permutation Scooby-Doo goes into in the series, these consistently come out that's theoretically in the classic continuity with the classic designs,
right.
In the ballpark of the classic voices. I think most of the people that are alive are still voicing them. So
yeah, and they kind of have that flavor of what the movie that we watched around Halloween, Zombie Island. That's it.
Yeah, Zombie Island is the beginning of all this.
And just kept going.
Yeah, they do 3 or 4 of those. They're all.
Did it keep going through Mystery Incorporated?
Yeah.
They didn't just like use that as like an excuse to reboot and we're just done with this kind of stuff.
No. That's what I'm saying is no matter what's on TV, these keep coming out. And I get the impression that, I mean, it's not hard to do with Scooby-Doo, but like they keep the quality consistent. I don't think they're ever as good as Zombie Island again. Although of those first 3, I think people have different. I have not. I check out after Cyber Chase. I've seen maybe 3 since then, for various reasons, various locations. While it's nice that they exist, I don't actually care.
This will be fun because I don't really care that much for Scooby-Doo, but you like Scooby-Doo.
I do like Scooby-Doo.
And so you may have some things that you latch onto with this that you'll appreciate because of that. And I probably like Brave and the Bold a little bit more than you, and I probably see more of that.
Yeah.
So there's kind of something here for both of us.
Yeah.
Although you got the better end of the stick on this because I really don't care about Scooby-Doo, and you at least like Batman. So
that's true.
So there's that. But
doesn't care. Spent 20 minutes on the rewind talking about how perfect Scooby-Doo is to cross over with everything.
That was the one point I was holding back that I probably would get to make again here, and you've already made it for me. Let's go ahead and get into it. If you want to watch it with us, and this one especially, we really suggest that you do. There may be a little bit less talking from us as we're just soaking this in.
There will probably be more talking on this one than on Gaslight, because I imagine that has a story.
Suspect so. Yeah, that's going to have meat.
Also, we're going to play the mystery game. We're going to try and guess who did it. We're going to do that.
It'll also be
because I suck at Scooby-Doo mysteries.
I just thought of this. it's not just Batman, it's Brave and the Bold, which means there will be other superheroes in this, and I don't know who's in it. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I would think. Oh, and there's the other one you have to do too. The one that I was talking about at some point. The Falcon, the Blue Falcon, and Dynamite.
Oh yeah, you
mentioned that. You have to do that as well.
That'll be the rewind. I felt like it's 0 views. That'll be yeah, that's true.
Because people know Blue Falcon and Dynamite from Dexter's Lab, even though you don't remember that episode.
Yeah, although when you brought that up, there were a couple people in comments who, because now we're close enough to when we posted things that I've seen comments. There were a couple people who were like, no, I saw the original. Like I knew that from back when it was on. You know,
interesting.
So that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I imagine all of those people are older than me.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to know what percentage of our audience is older than Eric. Anyway,
26.
So if you, not 26%. He's saying that's the age he is.
Yeah.
Watch it with us if you can. Get your DVD, your Blu-ray, however you want to watch it. I don't know if this came out. I'm assuming this came out also on Blu-ray. And I don't think anything ever just comes out on DVD.
I don't think so.
But anyway, that was a dumb thing to say. Let's move on. Get at the timestamp 0 past all the menus and get ready to press play when I say now. Eric, are you ready, buddy?
I am ready.
Here we go. Oh, one more interesting point to make real quick before we start. Something you pointed out yesterday. 5 comedies were parodies in a row.
Yes. Yep.
This is the 5th of them. That's really interesting.
Yep.
You have to count Harley Quinn, even though it kind of, in advertising, pretended like that's not what it was. But
no, it's a comedy.
Yeah.
It fails at that, but it's a comedy.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that's not totally fair. The advertising for that was jokey, but they never communicated to me that it was a straight-up farce, which is what it turns into. So here we go.
Well, I don't think they know that till halfway through.
Yeah, I'm with you. Everybody, please press play right now.
I ever told you the thing about Scooby-Doo and what's it called? A Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
No.
Okay, so
this is they have a crossover?
No, this is a me thing. That'd be amazing.
It would.
No, this is a me thing. So, I think Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a terrible mystery, and I think it's a terrible mystery because I called it, and I can't solve Scooby-Doo mysteries.
That's great. So as we watch this, we're going to have to point out possible people it might be.
Yes.
And then assume that it won't be anyone that we pointed out, right?
I don't know. People say there's a formula and you can always tell who it is, but I've never been able to do it. I suck at Scooby-Doo mysteries. Because they all their motives check out.
It's like a Rubik's Cube. It's just never going to happen.
I'm like, no, it's not. It can't be the scary dock worker. Like, he just cares about the dock. He wouldn't do that. One thing that's kind of neat about crossing these two things is that it's two completely different cartoon aesthetics they'll have to put together. Yeah.
And that's a thing, like, I almost wish this was Brave and the Bold Scooby-Doo as opposed to the Scooby-Doo being on top of it, not just because I'm a bigger Batman fan, but also because this seems, again, like, and for the reasons I talked about in that rewind too, but this seems like Scooby-Doo is kind of a perfect thing to put with Brave and the Bold. And now suddenly it's a Brave and the Bold episode. This might be the first thing they've done, I don't know if I'm right about this, where there's a specific version of a thing it crosses with.
I think so, but I don't know.
Like, Kiss is just Kiss. They have to decide what that aesthetic is all over again for Scooby-Doo. I like that they're already used to talking to Batman. That makes me think that they're kind of incorporating the fact that they've dealt with Batman before, and they're just pretending like this was the version. That's fun. They're like, oh, it's Batman! I didn't know he existed!
So, I'm a little surprised. I didn't expect this to look as good as it did.
That. Looks great.
The puppet things looked really good, and I was not expecting that.
All the lighting and shading already is really cool.
Yeah. This is what the DC
direct-to-animated fully
direct-to-video animated films
merged these two aesthetics,
how cool
right?
That guy looks. Except for the times there's not. All those times you fought monsters.
She's Scully. It's cool.
Also, this is pulling from Mystery Incorporated because Fred was never actually obsessed with traps until Mystery Incorporated. We're kind of using that a little bit.
That's not true. He did trappy things. He just wasn't as obsessed.
Yeah. Whereas here I'm getting a little bit of the vibe like he's all about traps like in Mystery Incorporated. He made the traps before, but they made that his personality.
It's hard not to be at least influenced by good things that aren't the versions you're doing.
Well, and I think Mystery Incorporated is the definitive version of Scooby-Doo at this point.
I honestly expected a whole opening sequence that Batman wasn't even in. I think it's really cool that a minute in, we immediately merged these two things, and I can't tell where one begins and one ends, right? Like, do you feel like you're watching one show over the other right now?
Not really.
It's both shows simultaneously. That's really cool. Even in soundtrack, there's some Scooby-Doo and some Brave and the Bold. Already, we're like 4 minutes into this, and I can already make that point. It's really cool. But I didn't have any clues as to who it might be. Is this something we do a lot in the Scooby-Doo movies?
There's going to be a cool credit sequence, right?
Where we, yeah, I bet. Do we do this a lot with the Scooby-Doo movies where we open at the end of one thing and we move on to the next?
Yes.
Is that a standard thing?
Yeah, that's a standard.
Because I think that's a lot of fun.
Me too.
So I wonder if this will all have much to do with what the actual mystery of the real story is going to be, or if this is just kind of the unrelated cartoon before we get into
How is that not a supervillain name? Puppetto.
That does sound like a Brave and the Bold villain. And Martian Manhunter.
I think that monkey might be the Agents of Atlas monkey. Or is Agents of Atlas Marvel? I can't remember.
Detective Chimp.
Detective Chimp.
Yeah.
The masks on masks.
Uh-huh. Batman claps cool.
Oh.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
He had to make sure they were good enough detectives to work with him. They're gonna bring him into the fold.
That's awesome.
That's good stuff, man. Okay, so maybe they haven't actually met them before.
Well, they know they all exist, so maybe they have met before.
Yeah. But when he says we've been aware of you for a while,
oh yeah,
it doesn't seem like they've actually been on an adventure together. Okay, so that is going to be related just in the sense that now they're on a team together. Like, that's cool. Da-da-da, who's this going to be? This is amazing! Cool. This is amazing. Cool. It's... even in the intro, it's a perfect blend.
Yep.
Oh, that's great! They merged the theme songs. That's really cool.
While we're doing this intro, oh, that's awesome. While we're doing this intro bit,
that's Harley Quinn.
I should give an update on the mental state of CJ after having Harley Quinn.
Yeah, go ahead.
He rented Gotham by Gaslight.
That's so cool. I'm sorry, the Mystery Machine is driving behind the Batmobile. That's so cool.
He rented Gotham by Gaslight and couldn't watch it. He's like, it kind of broke Batman for me. It's going to be a while. Like,
he just didn't even watch it?
He just didn't even watch it.
Wow.
He was like, I can't do anything Batman right now.
See, I wouldn't have that. I gotta have something to wash it out of my mouth. That was killer.
Yep.
This is somewhat of a big deal to me because I never thought we'd get more Brave and the Bold material, and I really like the actor who voices Batman.
Ooh, that's a great design. Is that what he is in the cartoon?
I don't know.
Or if he ever appeared, because they tended not to use a lot of the standard Batman rogues.
Not sure what's happened to our sound. Are you having that? Oh no, it's just mine. One of my channels was missing.
Mine's going back and forth.
Weird. I don't think Riddler ever showed up in that show.
And there's Killer Croc?
I could be wrong. I don't know that show real well. I've only seen like maybe a quarter of it. So I could be wrong about that, but if they're using this as an excuse to bring in some villains they haven't used before, then that's kind of exciting.
There's a question!
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is that Jeffrey Combs?
Yes, it is.
Oh man, they got Jeffrey Combs back!
For Brave the Bold!
Yeah.
This is ridiculous! So right away, they are not wasting this opportunity, right?
No. They're super excited to be able to do this again. And I love that question design. Like, it's mostly the JLU design, but not exactly. It's a little bit more simplistic. It's the JLU design filtered through Brave and the Bold.
I'm reading as much reverence and passion for this material as I was with 66. Just jumping right into it.
I wonder if it's any of the people that made that show that made this.
It's got to be, right? It's just the animation is exactly the same. Like it's got to be those people. We'll have to look it up later, but surely some of the writing is, or you know, one of the writers on this is probably one of those.
I would have led with that.
That's a good point. It's like, well, Aquaman, you're here. Like, what's stopping you from using that?
Oh, you're not invited.
Because he's not a detective. That's hilarious. Would you call Brave and the Bold toyetic?
Yeah,
I think it is. I've never felt the need to buy, figures from it, but I think especially that Batmobile is.
Yeah, most Batmobiles are though.
So we can't be surprised that they threw Aquaman in this because they love him so much.
Mm.
I will be really surprised.
Even 27 Miles, Steel City was something, and Opal City.
That's cool that they got that in there. I'm always talking about Gotham City 13 Miles. I'll be real surprised if Green Arrow's not in here somewhere, and I'll be really surprised if Gorilla Grodd is not here somewhere because they were obsessed with Grodd.
Because they did Blue Beetle.
Beetle they did a lot, but not nearly as much as Green Arrow or Aquaman. I don't think. That's fun. The Scooby Gang is going to try to figure out if Batman or who Batman is. Once again, please don't listen to this without watching the movie.
6,052 people have the financial means to be Batman in Gotham City, according to Velma.
Wow. They apparently don't have as much of a as much of a wealth inequality problem as the rest of the country.
Yeah. Are you any good at those word jumbles?
No, I'm not.
Whenever I'm timed, I feel like I'm always like 10 seconds behind the timer. Like I would have got it if I only had a little more time.
That's hilarious. But see, the problem with them being part of this group is that they have to drive all the way to Gotham every time.
Yeah.
That's quite a commute from wherever they're from. Do we have any idea where they're from?
It's Crystal Cove.
Oh, I guess I didn't.
Well, there's a couple different ones. It's Crystal Cove, Mystery Incorporated.
Martian Manhunter likes cookies.
Coolsville in A Pup Named Scooby-Doo and the live-action films. I think those are traditionally the two.
Okay, so my question now is, are we going to have a gag where Martian Manhunter eats Scooby snacks? Because I could totally see that. I love that there's, like, all these potential mysteries in Batman's world for them to solve.
Yeah.
And they're not going to get to solve any of them, probably, but they're, like, wondering about everything. Well, surely Green Arrow shows up now, right?
Yep.
At some point, somewhere? Was Black Canary on that show?
I don't think... That chair is Plastic Man.
Yep. That's great.
Okay, slight complaint.
He was all over that show.
Plastic Man's not a detective, but Elongated Man is. And Black Canary's not a detective. I feel like
I think that's weird too.
There were other female characters you could have picked. Huntress, Oracle.
Yeah, Oracle would be a tricky thing to try to work into this in Brave and the Bold, I think. Huntress would be weird because you just have to have her there and never mention the fact that she murders people.
Yeah, but how many other characters do we do that with in the show?
Do we do it with any heroes?
I'm not sure.
I think it's okay if their versions of certain characters are detectives before they were in the comics. Like,
well, just everyone else they picked is a detective.
That's true.
Traditionally.
Yeah. Did they struggle with that? Did they have a hard time coming up with people that got it? Aquaman's trying really hard to get into this club.
Queero. He's being Hercule Poirot. Poirot.
I love how they took the same voice actor who did the most serious version of that you can imagine, or at least a pretty serious version of that, and he's giving the exact same performance, but it's Brave and the Bold dialogue. And he's just wonderfully sarcastic.
Does Black Canary not look like she's part of the Brave and Bold aesthetic, but looks like she's part of the Scooby-Doo aesthetic?
Maybe a little bit, but see, I'm not convinced she was never in that show. I should look that up. I think maybe she was. I just don't know.
I like that the question just has a car.
So maybe this is going to be just all the heroes that we get in this?
I mean, it's already a lot.
No, it is. I mean, you could get cameos and stuff, I guess, but usually in a Brave and the Bold thing, we establish the characters, the heroes right away, and then, you know, they do a team up. But I'm glad it's not just Batman and one other person for a big movie. Right, but I would think that that's why we have so many characters, as opposed to we're going to keep introducing people.
Sure.
Yeah, Black Canary was definitely in that show.
Okay.
Oh, and they did Birds of Prey, so Huntress is in that show.
So why not?
I think, unless that's something from this. I don't know.
Spoilers.
I don't know. That happens.
You know what's weird? I feel like everyone loves Plastic Man, but like he's nowhere in the comics.
Yeah, and nobody can tell you anything about Plastic Man.
I know that he was a criminal that fell into a vat of chemicals and became stretchy, and then became a crime fighter.
Is that what you know?
That is what I know. And I know that in the 90s, the Wachowskis wanted to make a movie out of him.
Oh, you know what? Now that I look at this, I remember that episode. Yeah. There's an episode called Night of the Huntress, and it's about the Huntress, and she's voiced by Tara Strong.
Oh, cool.
No, I will actually be, now that I'm thinking more about it, I'll be really surprised if we don't get more heroes here and there in this.
You're never going to get that to catch on.
Hey, man. It doesn't matter that you have a giant A on your belt. No one is ever going to call you that.
Yeah, but the A on his belt stands for Atlantis. So I guess that could work.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, it's not branding.
But,
There
like,
you
it
go.
is, but it isn't. Like, when that character's originally being designed, he has an A on him because he's Aquaman, right?
Yes. Yes, because Atlantis does not exist when he's originally designed. He's a science experiment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all that stuff comes a little bit later. Aquaman is one of the best cases, I think, for the original creators not being listed as the original creators. Because he's a completely different character by the time you get to, like, the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, so, like, their influence begins and ends with a guy named Aquaman.
And I guess costume.
Who wears those colors. Yeah.
You might could have caught that. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, do you ever do that when you're watching a mystery thing where you're like, well, so far I feel like I could have solved this. Like, I feel like I could have been on this team.
I mean, they lost me here. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I mean, if I was there,
Yeah,
I would have seen that.
I don't have enough Sherlock Holmes in me for that.
And that is the Sherlock Holmes thing. There's a difference between, like, fair play mysteries, which is what Agatha Christie wrote, where it's like, you have all the evidence, you can solve it. Sherlock Holmes, most of the time, doesn't give you the evidence. When he's telling you what's happening,
That's
it's like,
when you're finding out what it is.
well, he has mud on his shoes, and that means this and this. But he's not introduced as, the man had muddy shoes.
Yeah.
Which really just depends on
Well, and I think
whether you want the audience to be involved in the mystery solving, or whether you're just telling a story.
Yeah, I mean, like, Orient Express is kind of that way, too.
Yeah.
They don't give you all the information.
I feel like they give you
a
most
lot
of
of it, but some of it's like, but it's compartmentalized, where it's like all these different characters picked up on different things.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to check back in on a point you made earlier, which is this still looks really good.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
that sounds
creepy.
haunting.
I can handle the guy luring me into a trap just saying Batman alone.
I feel.
Oh, it's the bad guy. So who's this guy gonna turn out to be? So he's gonna be someone, right?
Yeah.
Or is he gonna turn out to be no one we've ever?
No, it'll probably be a Batman character. I missed what the mystery is that they're going to solve.
I did too. But this is kind of cool because it's gonna be, I'm sure, a Batman villain pretending to be a Scooby-Doo villain, right?
I'm not
Because it looks
convinced
like a
it'll be a
Scooby-Doo
Batman
villain.
villain.
What's that?
I'm not convinced it'll be a Batman villain. I think it might be a Batman character. But maybe it is a villain.
Okay, I just mean a character from his world.
Yes.
It's gonna be somebody we know from
Yeah.
Brave and the Bold or from Batman in general.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't turn out to be Batmite, but surely not.
That'd be awful.
I mean, I love the end of that show with Batmite,
sure.
but I don't want this to be a sequel to that.
Well, that's...
I'm just trying to get, based on my limited knowledge with that show, I'm trying to guess if there's anything he's talking about that I might know about when he's like, you did this to me. If this was actually a direct sequel to something. His design is awesome.
What if this is how we do Jason Todd in Brave and the Bold?
That would be great. And what if it's just that much better than Arkham Knight?
Well, I don't... Well,
it's not that hard.
I didn't already know before you put this in the DVD player.
Yes,
so it's already a better mystery.
Yes, you did.
Well, yes.
They're exploding. Like, the barrels are... They're currently combusting. I don't know. My wife loves Plastic Man.
This should be Elongated Man. Elongated Man's not fun like Plastic Man, but... There is a stretchy character that's a detective.
Yeah, but they're wanting to bring some of their classic characters in.
Sure.
Yeah, some of the bigger deal characters from that show.
Ha!
That's pretty good.
And the thing we do in Batman all the time. I never hear anybody complain about it. Nobody ever calls down. It's like, we get it. It's on the corner of Dick and Sprang.
Yeah, but Spears and Ruby is fun because that's not one I've ever heard anybody go to.
Nobody, well, no, because it's animation, right?
Nobody ever references like animation houses. Like that's really cool.
Hey,
is that Bullock?
That's Bullock.
Cool. Something else I'm really appreciating about this is that it knows that we'll maybe never get anything from Brave and the Bold again, but Scooby-Doo will go on forever.
I think that one might also be... I think Bullock might also be John DiMaggio.
So, like, I don't feel like we're shafting the Scooby-Doo characters for all the Batman stuff. That's great. We're not a gang.
With Batman?
We were with a gang. It's always fun when Brave and the Bold tries to tackle things that regular Dark Batman does, but within the flavor of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's where it's able to go, farther than 60s Batman, because, of course, Brave and the Bold is supposed to be what you thought you were watching when you watched 60s Batman. So they actually go to the serious places, but still keep it kind of goofy. Like, 60s Batman would have never gone as far as police corruption in any form.
Yeah.
But that doesn't feel too far for Brave and the Bold. He's someone else, but obviously... That's a thing I never understand about Batman.
How people know about
is
Batcave.
Why he tells everyone about the Batcave. Why would you do that? I thought he was going to go through way more people, and I really appreciate that that wasn't just a roll call.
I also like this opens with Daphne saying that there's like no supernatural stuff, but Aquaman exists, and Plastic Man exists, and Clayface exists, and Gentleman Ghost exists.
Maybe they don't know about those things. Maybe they've never been to Gotham before, and that stuff only happens in Gotham.
But Aquaman's under the water. He's in Atlantis.
Oh, that's fun.
Ooh.
Cool. Flashback to the 38 version of...
With purple gloves.
Brave and the Bold Batman.
So, I hope it's not that guy.
Now, they did...
Because that wouldn't be fun.
They did a whole... Yeah. I mean, I've heard of Professor Milo, but I don't want that to be the... Yeah.
He's Dr. Death? Right?
Now that you say that, I think that's right.
Look it up.
I know I've heard of him. So this is really cool. I should mention that, like, I don't think we ever flashed back to 38 Batman before in the show. We did do a lot of, like, alternate dimension versions of Batman where we bring a whole bunch of Batmans together.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, this is a thing they love doing, going to different versions of history throughout Batman. They're pulling out all the stops and doing all the things we love this show for.
Nope, he's just a scientist.
Oh, that's sad. It's the only innocent life he ever lost. That's going to be the bad guy.
I hope not. Yeah, because he says you did this to me. Oh, that's disappointing. He's also in the animated series, in Cat Scratch Fever.
Oh, interesting.
I don't want him to be the
Might
bad
where
guy.
I've heard
That's kind of boring.
Well, especially if we already know who it is, because you're supposed to pull the mask off at the end. We're not supposed to know already. So it's got to be more complicated than that, right?
It's going to be a twist.
There's going to be more to it than that.
Wait, what?
And he got...
Someone met their fate to a rodent incident a few years ago.
Oh, weird. But Broken Man.
Oh.
Scooby-Doo does not know who Riddler is. And we get a Riddler story on top of it? This is great! Eric, so far my excitement for this was justified.
Yeah.
I was really excited to see this.
You were gonna watch the night you bought it.
I really wanted
and I was like,
to.
you can have fun doing that. I'm gonna wait.
You're like, I'm gonna wait, and I was like, oh well, I don't want to break the rule. We always wait on these.
Well, I was worried that it would be disposable and I wouldn't really be excited to watch it again. I was wrong. Hey, there's Scarecrow. He's cool looking, and King Tut.
Yeah, because so far I feel like you would have been probably happy to watch this again. I didn't see King Tut. Dang it. The Scooby-Doo lines have been really funny so far. That line Scooby-Doo had earlier when he said, "It's what we Scooby-Doo," does he say that a lot?
No.
Is that not like a thing he says?
No.
That seems like a thing that could
unless it
easily
is
be a big Scooby-Doo
in the
thing.
more recent line of Scooby-Doo animated films.
It's cool. I don't know who this guy is. I mean, it's the Riddler. I don't know who this voice is. You know, I do like that each of the Scooby-Doo characters has like the thing they're good at that they're bringing to the table. That's kind of nice.
They had to give Daphne something she's never had before.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, word scrambles come up in 10 minutes after we introduced that. I'm gonna see if they did Riddler in that show, because I don't right away remember.
Yeah, because we also saw Scarecrow and King Tut, and I mean, they don't have voices, but...
Surely King Tut they didn't do. I don't think they ever really broached 60s or 66 stuff, did they?
Maybe one of the opening things. That's one of the worst riddles. It could be anything.
We bring that riddle up all the time because it's like the most obvious riddle.
Well, but
the red and black newspaper thing.
Well, but it's also one with like many different answers. Like it's like a cow with a sunburn, or like.
It looks like he was in at least a couple episodes of that.
Oh, cool. And there's Clock King.
I need to look closer at the screen because they're having little cameos and I'm missing them.
There's a cafeteria in Arkham Asylum. Of course there is. I wouldn't put those knives in those.
That's hilarious. Bates Burger. They have horror-themed food in Arkham Asylum. That's awesome. Because the place is not conducive to actually getting better mental health. It's hilarious. I really like this design.
Yeah.
This Crimson Cloak guy. Raga. I like that his mouth actually moves.
Yeah. It's very Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
The mouth design. Not the whole design, obviously, but the mouth feels really Samurai Jack to me.
No, it's a modern Scooby-Doo villain,
no.
right? Oh, everybody's gonna get out. Okay, so we're doing the Batman 66 thing with this, where we're gonna bring every villain we can think of out. The Return of the Cape Crusaders thing.
hey, there was the Cavalier.
When you think it's he's your Clock King.
Yeah, he is my.
But I also got my Clock King. My Clock King is the Clock King.
And there's Bookworm.
There's Bookworm.
And
I don't know how I feel about all that.
Because of the 66 show?
Yeah, well, because of those movies. Like, we just did those recently.
It's fine for me if they were in the show.
Yeah, I just don't know if they were in Harley Quinn's here.
And Poison Ivy.
And I think she also was in that show. Once again, it's annoying to hear a half-decent Harley Quinn voice after Batman and Harley Quinn. I don't want to be a broken record or nothing, but, she was only an Emperor Joker.
That's Two-Face.
And now they've brought her back.
He touched his eye, and that's weird.
Having the Scooby-Doo, or having just Scooby and Shaggy have to go up against the entire Rogues Gallery is awesome.
Oh, and there's Ventriloquist, and I'm not sure who that guy is. You know, I said I hadn't seen anybody do the original, like, 50s design for...
But this show did for Two-Face.
Yeah, obviously. Obviously, that's what they would go to.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Horrifying.
That's a giant plant thing. So, Scooby and Shaggy, I know it's food, and they love food. So, like, if they were gonna be able to do anything, it would be a food fight. But just seeing all these villains at the same time, they should be done forever, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole joke is they're always cowards and they can't handle the scary stuff. Like, they go up against Batman's entire Rogues Gallery. They should need therapy for life, and they quit being in the Scooby Gang, and they're just done forever.
Yeah, but they've gone up against a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but all that at the same time? And it's not just people in masks?
It's mostly people in masks. I mean, I guess Killer Croc, but...
Yeah, but they're, actually scary
gallery.
In their own right. They're not just, a person in a mask pretending to be scary. Like, they're actually psychopaths, and they're... But in this setting, it should be scary. At least in Arkham Asylum. Maybe not this setting.
And we're doing a Scooby-Doo chase in Arkham Asylum, which is really fun.
That is fun. Oh, that was King Tut.
And there's...
That's the Archer.
And Jack in the Box.
I don't know what that is.
Or is that their Toy Man? I think that might be their Toy Man.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who the guy with the helmet is.
Well, there was a Mr. Freeze.
It's not that guy. He's got more like a flight helmet. I also don't know who that guy is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
Well, he's got a bat laser. I like the Scarecrow design quite a bit.
Yeah.
Look how terrifying he is outside Arkham Asylum.
King Tut is in 5 episodes of that show. So they did go to 66 villains.
And apparently they did Bookworm.
I'm not going to look up all the other ones, but I'm going to assume if they did King Tut, some of those other ones were to the show. So that's completely fair then. It's just, if they were finally doing those just for the sake of this, that would be really strange.
Yeah. Because
we got 66 movies. There's a giant question mark, and Fred says, "This must be the place Riddler was talking about."
I want the Crimson News person to be Hush, and then we find out who Hush is.
That would be great. Yeah, it would be okay if it was like their new take on something they haven't done before. That'd be cool. It honestly seems like that would be more likely to be satisfying than bringing back someone.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's someone that we're not familiar with the history of what they did in that show with. I mean, it's hard to walk that line of making this for something like this for fans of that show and also for new people that haven't watched that show before. Because it's been off for a while. There's going to be kids that didn't watch that show that might watch this for Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm.
Or even for more kids' Batman stuff that's not Lego, you know? So that whole thing is hilarious because I'm pretty sure you don't need a warrant to search a van.
You have to have probable cause, I think.
Probable cause, yeah. Oh no. Their whole team's gonna turn on them, Eric.
But they know that there's a ghost. They saw him.
Well, yeah, but they might think that it was just one of them wearing a costume.
Maybe, but they were all there.
Oh, yeah. That's true. But they've been framed. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know that they would turn against them that fast. Bullock, sure, but...
Was he just gonna stay attached to them?
It was nice of him to mention that he used to be a crook for anyone in the audience that was not familiar with his backstory. I had forgotten it. Luckily, I have Eric here. I don't need you, movie. I have Eric. Oh no! They're fugitives, Eric. And Scooby-Doo's driving the van. Do we do that a lot?
No. I'm not sure I've ever seen it before. Oh.
That's great. This is hilarious.
Oh, so it's Public Enemies.
Yeah. It's Scooby-Doo, Batman, Public Enemies. Didn't hate that movie, but I'm enjoying this more.
That dog. Also, but not that Mad Dog.
The $6 Million Man sound effect never gets old. And I like that we're not, especially because this stuff is such a throwback to like 60s and 70s cartoons, that we're not remotely worried about those references not playing for people. Like we just do them, and if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you don't. It's just a fun sound effect. Because as time goes on, you're going to have more and more people that are not going to get stuff like that.
Ha!
What? Brave the Bold just did a No Man's Land reference. And there's Bane! In Solomon Grundy, probably?
Maybe.
No?
He's not pale.
No, they have a Grundy.
Is he amygdala?
Maybe so. See, it's really hard not to just look up things while I'm watching this. Oh, their Bane has a zipper face!
And that's a really weird disguise to go with.
All the Scooby-Doo tropes are here too, right?
Yeah. Bane is gonna eat a hot dog.
Because I'm Bane! Yeah, he's in a few too. Including Music Meister. And like the rules of the
oh, there's something I can't think of his name. Something Cobra.
The kind of cartoony or comic booky rules of both universes are merging. That's great.
I hate the Joker voice.
That's so random.
Look like Hugo Strange.
Penguin just called that's Catman. Penguin just called them hippies. That's really funny. So, are you mining the 6 million villains in this?
No. Also, I think Penguin is Tom Kenny, which is weird because Tom Kenny is Penguin in the Batman.
Yeah, yeah. Wacky race. They just loaded up 1 million villains in 2 cars. And he has umbrella missiles.
Well, it makes sense with the Joker because it's a clown car, but then we do it. We just do it.
I like his Joker. I've always liked his Joker car.
Yeah, it's cool. Ooh,
speaking of toyetic,
yeah.
And that's based on a 50s design, but it's not exactly the same car.
I read that issue when I was a kid. There was like a collection the library had, and Joker was like, Batman's got a Batmobile, I'll have a Joker
They
mobile.
got ducks! The Penguin's got ducks!
Exploding ducks.
This is awesome! Oh, and he loses teeth. That's really funny. You know, Eric, in a way, I'm sort of feeling like we're getting the third 66 movie with this, right? Like,
I don't know that one.
Because it's of that quality. It's having that kind of fun. Uh-oh, what's that going to do?
Are we all going to pile into the Batmobile?
Yep. It is Wacky Race, just Wacky Races.
Yep.
They went with some deep pulls there that I don't know at all. There's some random villains here. I can't tell you who they are.
Yeah, I don't... That guy? I'm pretty sure that's the Wrath. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's.
I've never heard of that. Wow, well done.
He's like an anti-Batman whose parents.
If you're right, that's amazing.
His parents were murdered by cops or something like that.
Oh, cool.
I think that's who that is.
That's interesting.
Because the thing on his chest looks kind of like an X, but I think it might be a W. I might be wrong.
They're actually doing stuff with Daphne in this.
Yeah. I don't know who that guy is. He kept like Batman.
I usually see her as just there to be ditzy. Like, she's really fun in this. I like her as the proactive, like, throw caution to the wind.
This kind of
one of them
is my favorite now of all of these. Like this is better than Lego Batman because I don't know every character. Like, I'm like, I don't know who that is. As someone I don't know. Like, as far as the referencey things go, like, I don't know some of these characters.
I love that she just came out and said it's not the same Mystery Machine every time. Did you catch that?
I did not.
She goes, we lose more Mystery Machines that way. Oh, man! That was great. That was really cool. Once again, throwing us a bone if we know our stuff. He had Martian failsafe right next to the flamethrower, and the flame is how you usually get rid of Martians, but the failsafe was just give him cookies. That's what this Batman would do. Like, that's really clever. That's Crazy Quill.
Yeah.
His Penguin voice is really good.
If it is Tom Kenny, he improved on the Batman voice.
Or just, altered it for this.
Yeah. I think I know that purple
I've always
guy.
liked that the slow motion, or not slow motion, but the still fighting in this, because it's exactly what they do in Powerpuff Girls. But I guess that's also throwback to some 60s stuff. He didn't give him bat gas or anything.
Well,
we don't go to
circumstances.
I forget. Do we go to his Batcave very much?
I feel like we do. I feel like some stories start there.
Yeah.
And then heroes show up. Oh,
I didn't need that.
That guano.
I didn't need that. It did explode. The setup and payoffs have been pretty good.
Okay, but you know what I like about the Bat Guano? I don't even know if a kid will know what that is. Like, that's an almost subtle, slightly intellectual joke.
I don't agree with that.
I don't think kids know what guano is.
Yeah, but it's obviously a, you know, stepped in the gross stuff joke. Like,
sure.
They do the sound effect and stuff, Eric. Like,
of course he's gonna dress up as Ace.
I hope he does. I don't know if he will, but how's the bad guy doing this? Why is that funny?
His gang call sign, Shaggy.
Did he say gang call sign?
Yeah, he said gang call sign.
I thought you just said
Shaggy.
better know by his call sign. Okay, that's hilarious. Sorry, I didn't know why you're laughing. So I was like, I mean, I know his name is Norval Rogers. Like,
so it's some kind of shapeshifter.
Yeah, but it can't be Clayface because we brought up Clayface.
Yeah.
Or it's someone that can do holograms or something like that.
Perhaps Plastic Man?
That's a classic Scooby-Doo joke. That's awesome. He has TOS looking tech. And the snozzberries taste like snozzberries. Instinct gluttony. That's pretty great.
Alright, so this is going to be the question. Are we going to follow Batman or are we going to stay with Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, that is a good question. See, this is a Batman that teams up every episode, so he's good at team-ups. Are we going to do the Crime Alley thing? For a second, I was wondering if we were doing the Crime Alley thing.
We've done the Crime Alley thing.
With Waving the Wall, yeah.
Yeah, with the Red Tornado episode.
That's hilarious. People just keep calling them hippies.
This really is like a love letter to this show.
Yeah.
In the same way that 66 is to 66.
Which is, again, amazing because it's also a crossover. Like, that they're able to do all of that. And no, I was praising it for not, like, losing the Scooby-Doo stuff too much, but that's not that hard because that's not real substantial, right? Like...
Was that his thing? I missed that.
Yeah, me too. Maybe he did that in the show. See, I bet he was in the show and we just don't know it. Because so far, it seems like everybody they've used was in that show. Okay, when I looked up Bane from Brave and the Bold, I wrote Brave and the Bane. But I still found it that way. Oh yeah, no, he's in 5 episodes.
Wow. Well, and obviously a lot of those episodes listed, it's probably just the teasers. Like whenever we look up characters, like I bet a lot of them are just teasers. Because there's always 2 heroes in an episode.
That's a good point. But most of these characters I've looked up were in... One of their appearances is Music Meister.
Okay. You know, I'm not a fan of the Brave and the Bold Bat. It's a little too fat.
Yeah, I mean, it works for this aesthetic because everything's so bulky anyway.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, just on its own, I'm not a huge fan of it either. It's weird because in a way, it almost feels like an update. Yeah, but it can't be Scarecrow because we saw him already. But
he didn't talk.
Yeah, that's true. Right, but is he like admitting himself back into
yeah, I don't know.
the asylum over and over again?
Oh, maybe it is Clayface because it just moved away.
Yeah. Okay, this is hilarious. So, and maybe this is just a thing that people already know about the Batcave in the show if they did this already. But you remember how I said a minute ago that the tech looks like TOS?
Mm-hmm.
The TOS bridge sound effect is in the background.
Interesting.
They're doing that. It's hilarious.
Okay, it looks like Clayface, it acts like Clayface, or I mean, it doesn't look like Clayface, but like, what else could it be?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Batman.
It's very Clayface.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not just somebody in a mask. Is this gonna be some kind of like really cool, satisfying reveal, or?
I'm not sure. It was like, who cares if it's Clayface? But I also don't care if it's any of the scientist people either.
Yeah. Well, and it's still playing like it's the person we thought it was all along. Uh-oh. Batman's figured something out.
It has to not be the guys from the flashback or Clayface and still be satisfying.
But it has to be connected to all that, or
Yeah.
at least to the flashback. I mean, it is possible that this isn't Clayface and it's just something that came from wherever that guy seemed to have gone, because it looked like that could have been like an interdimensional portal or something. I'm not sure. We should have known they were going to use that to do something.
Yeah.
Is it? Clayface. they're not gonna show it to us. Batman's cow cam.
Yep, they're all going to dress up.
They're all going to suit up.
Shaggy's going to have Nightwing's costume.
I mean, I kind of hoped they would do that, but... And that is the Brave and the Bold thing to do. Yeah. We like to dress people up in different costumes in that show.
Because it's toyetic.
Right. This should have action figures, yes. How do they not put out a Scooby-Doo Batman line for this? Like...
Yeah. Well, Scooby-Doo's not big in toys, so...
No, that's true, but Batman is, like, we haven't seen what they look like yet, but surely we're going to see that and go, well, you'd want action figures of this, right? But I wanted action figures for some stuff from the 66 movies, and we didn't get that either. Wow. That's some high-octane revenge right there, Eric.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you scattered everywhere.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
I love it when villains do this. Yeah, he's got the alliteration down.
Oh, she's like Carrie Kelly. I knew it. I knew Shaggy was going to be Nightwing.
Yeah. But they really prominently featured that. That's awesome.
Yep.
They had the Scooby Gang say Hammers of Justice. That's great. Yeah, naturally they have to have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
My name is Arthur, and this is my diversion.
Oh, he turns into the villains.
Weird.
Oh, but like slimy, like not exactly together.
That's really cool. That they went far enough to animate them like that. Yeah, I love the music from the show. But see, I say that once again, we're mixing everything.
Well, and
so
obviously it makes sense to mix because
with Scooby-Doo.
But they're both calling back to '60s music, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. But one of them is more jazzy, and one of them is more funk and disco stuff.
I really like the Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, that design's cool. Ah! Giant creepy jaw Joker. It's kind of funny that because we went to Arkham, we've actually already seen all these villains. Like, you would think that this would be just a way to get the likenesses in here, but we've actually seen all the real versions of these already.
What's interesting about their Mr. Freeze is that he looks like a Scooby-Doo villain.
Yeah. But I'm sure he was in the show somewhere.
Like, he looks like Kooky Space Ghost?
Yeah, it's almost like somebody had this idea, and then everybody involved just looked at each other and was like, well, yeah, that just goes together already.
Mm-hmm.
The Batgirl costume is the animated series version. Or something really, really similar.
Yeah.
Did he already have that weaponized? Or did you whip up a backpack real fast somehow? Also, they went back to the 60s, to the 66 movie with the dehydrator, right?
Yeah. Yep. That was glass.
Right. Which no one's surprised about, but I was thinking it couldn't be Clayface because they mentioned Clayface.
Yeah.
And I would have thought that would be a red herring, right? That's kind of disappointing. Am I remembering this wrong? We didn't bring him up at the beginning.
Him out.
I'm also surprised that Green Arrow does not seem to be in this.
Hmm. Okay.
Well, sure.
But he was in the Flash.
Like, I guess because it's also a Scooby-Doo thing, and it has to be someone we've seen already, but...
Well, I was thinking because it's more of a Batman thing, it doesn't have to actually be a mystery. It's just a supervillain plot.
Yeah, but Scooby-Doo's name's in front.
Yeah.
That must have also still been Clayface, right? look at how Louis that guy is.
He's Don Knotts.
Yeah, he is Don Knotts. That's right.
Who teamed up with Scooby-Doo.
Of course, yeah.
Many times. He's also Clayface.
I should have immediately known that. Yeah, of course. Except he's holding a shape better. That's a pretty good
Don
Knotts voice, yeah.
Oh!
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty good. And we should have known that wasn't going to be the question the whole time. We should guess that.
Why? Because
they kept making a big deal out of... They were joking a lot about his face, and it's a mask. Like, no, we should have known that. That's a real Scooby-Doo thing to do, right? Oh, that's sad, Batman. And so then he's going to get inducted into the group at the end, right? So then, where's the question?
Is he still a Clayface clone?
Yeah, that's a good question. What? That's pretty good. Warp Wordsmith?
Does that make sense? I bet you
no.
I bet you earlier the question did. Yeah. Okay, so I bet if we go back and we pay attention, the question, everything the question says is a question, and then when Riddler takes over it stops being that.
Oh, so it was the real one for a while.
That must be the thing that Aquaman...
And that's what tips him off.
Yes.
Because, like, wait a minute, you stopped doing that, but and that was irritating, so I appreciate it, but then it made him think that it was someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. It also makes him like the lady that takes over for Zordon in Turbo. Oh, cool!
It was the question. The question
he comes back. Because yeah. Yes!
I like their shirts. One of them has the pie symbol. One of them has like a tic-tac-toe thing. Or maybe it's a... Oh, they're all... And there's an ampersand.
Yeah.
There's a division symbol.
They're all the symbols that you have on the number keys. Or at least a lot of them. Pie's not up on the number keys.
No.
So that ended up being at least Scooby-Doo satisfying, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. It looks like there's actually going to be more to it. It's always cool when you have a sinking feeling where you're like, oh, really, that's it? And then they got you?
Yeah.
I love that. Beggars and mash. Wait, he can do that with his trident?
Yeah.
His trident can light up and shoot electricity?
Yeah. Well, it can shoot something. It shoots like beams or something.
Some kind of energy?
Like magic, yeah.
I didn't know it did that. Is that like a standard thing that the trident does?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, I guess, yeah. I mean...
I think he does it in the movie. In Justice League, I mean.
Does he?
Oh,
okay.
So.
I just had a momentary lapse where I was like, wait, is that a thing the trident does?
It's a magic trident.
Because, like, yeah, the classic, Greek trident with Poseidon's trident would do that, but I didn't know Aquaman's did. I guess it would be a magic trident. Okay, forget I said that.
Is it Bullock? It looked like Bullock.
Is Bullock gonna? Oh,
was Bullock in the other dimension? He was a man in a coat. Oh, it's probably the guy from the Mister, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
Flashback, yeah.
That's what I would think. And like they got him back.
That's also question. I can't think of his name.
That was also Jeffrey Combs?
That was also Jeffrey Combs.
I didn't pick up on that with one line, but... Are you gonna get those costumes back, or you're just gonna let them keep them? Well, every time we do that, I'm always like, we're lucky that they fit. Yours was easy.
I think Batman's Oliver Queen.
We never mentioned him in this entire movie. Yep. Okay, that's kind of funny. Yes, the bat snack. So they did go back and look at those.
Yeah.
Because the bat snack is in the Scooby-Doo movies. Yeah, and it didn't end on the worst joke ever.
No.
That's kind of nice. That was just a pleasure, man. Like, that was really good.
DiMaggio was Crimson Cloak. That's interesting.
Okay, so that was Tara Strong just trying to do a slightly different Harley Quinn voice.
And it was Tom Kenny as yep. But it didn't list all of the voice actors, so like
right.
There was no one for Sam Scarlett. So I don't know if that was in fact Jeffrey Combs or not.
I mean, you can look it up.
Yeah. I don't care that much, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that Kind of lackluster credits, though.
Yeah, they're not really doing anything with this, but
they're walking real slow behind the bat symbol.
I would, I'd be cool with another one of these, dude.
Yeah, me too.
It actually weirdly makes me more interested in looking at more of the Scooby-Doo crossovers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if they're of this level of quality and reverence for whatever material that they're crossing over with.
Yeah, but it also makes me hope that we get Brave and the Bold crossing over with some other stuff, because they took two things that are the obvious things to do crossovers with, and like I should have thought of that. Like, of course, what you do with future Brave and the Bold stuff is you find other cool properties to mix it with, because Batman's teamed up with a bunch of people in his own universe. Now he's going to go team up with other people in other universes. Again, this was a perfect blend of those two things.
Yeah.
And, like, plotting-wise, too. That actually kind of threw us off with the mystery a little bit, where we couldn't decide if it was more of a Batman thing or more of a Scooby-Doo thing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that's kind of bold about this is Brave and the Bold didn't have a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you're already having to deal with how do you do that format in a feature?
You just throw everything in. Which would be the problem with doing another Brave and the Bold feature crossing over something else, is like, what do you do? We did everything in this.
Yeah. And what do you... And like, I don't know if you want to do it with something that wasn't already, like, fully
established. There's a special thanks
established.
to Ruby and Spears.
Oh, that's really cool. With, like, a particular version. Like, yeah, I'd love to see them maybe, like, revisit Space Ghost again, but then I'd like to see, like, a serious Space Ghost show.
Mm.
Or a jokey Space Ghost show, but that's not, like, Ghost, but is, like, an actual adventure show.
Right. Well, that was good.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Like I said, you kind of scratched that 66 itch again. Which is funny because we just did that, but I never thought we'd get to see something like that again, and it has.
You did, merely months later.
Yeah, but for us, the very next day. Anyway, well, folks, thanks again for watching. We sure appreciate it. And tomorrow is going to be our very last one. It's going to be a little bit bittersweet, I am sure. We're going to watch the most recent, obviously, of the direct-to-video animated Batman features, and it's a thing that when people would ask me, like, what would you like to see adapted, I went to Gotham by Gaslight all the time, and now I can't say that because it's happened.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that's like, and we're gonna do this again. We're gonna watch it and talk over it as we're watching it.
We will probably talk less in that one.
Yeah, and we had some lulls here too while we were paying attention.
Yeah.
So expect that, and try to get it and watch it with us if you can, because that will not be the most entertaining thing to look at by its lonesome, but you know, we'll do our level best to make it fun. And then stay tuned for the very end of that show, because we're going to reveal what the next Mania is going to be for next January, and look forward to that, because I think it's going to be really exciting. It's not the first thing you'll think of, but I think it's going to be really neat. It was an idea Eric had. I've added to that idea. I think it's going to be really cool. So anyway, anything else you want to mention before we get going?
No.
Thanks a lot for watching, folks. We sure appreciate it. We'll see you again tomorrow. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.